connecte si tu es toujours en haut-parleur.
Okay.
Yalla, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody, and welcome to our Ramadan panel discussion. And I'm very happy, and I would like to congratulate our team at Emirates Green Building Council for choosing such an important topic that befits the month of Ramadan. We will be talking about the nexus between water, the built environment, and sustainability. So to put really the issues in perspective, I would like to quote from the Quran. Okay, and I'm sure you all know it, but it is the continuation of an ayah which says, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ صدق الله العظيم, which is, and we have made from water every living thing. Will they not believe? And I always believe this is one of the most beautiful small ayahs that we have in the Quran that gives you the full comprehensive impact of this vital resource. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Idris.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Habiba. Good to be with you guys.
Same here. So, for everybody, I think, on every living being on this planet, water is not just a resource, it is a living, it's the lifeline of us. And that verse from the Quran translates it and gives it its true meaning. But for our region, it has got that double significance and importance because we are all in a very harsh environment, desert environment, particularly in the GCC region. The whole Arab world does not have any source of fresh water that coming from, even if they have the rivers, but the rivers have not started from any Arab country. It is starting from another country. So we are vulnerable. We are at the mercy of others. And this issue should take the significance. It's significant. We should understand. We should be doing and having proper strategies, policies, procedures, everything in place to ensure that we are not all the time under threats. And we see live examples today in Africa, in Iraq, and the rest of the region. When you come to our GCC region, and I would like to shed light on that, we depend on desalination. Majority of us, big percentage, sometimes 97% of our water resources comes from desalination. While it has become such an efficient exercise and it is part and parcel of life for us in the GCC countries, nevertheless, it comes with a very high price. From the environmental perspective, from the social perspective, as well as from the economic perspective. So I'm very delighted that this topic has been put on the table to shed light on the importance of this resource in the built environment. And I'm doubly excited to see the collaboration between Emirates Green Building Council and Morocco Green Building Council. And by the way, I salute Morocco Green Building Council because you are one of the first Green Building Council after we established Emirates. You are the first to answer the call and establish the Morocco Green Building Council, and you have been active ever since. And mashallah, we have seen the growth and development of this council. So kudos to you, and more strength and more power and more success. I hope this will be the beginning of many collaboration between our councils, and not only between us only, maybe expand it to more green building council in the Arab world. Today you see around the world a clustering, and this is for us as well. We should bank on that, and we should work on that very closely to ensure that we collectively are identifying what are the challenges that we are facing in the built environment, share best practice, talk about our challenges, and then collectively come together to find the solution, benefit from our best practices that we are doing, so that the other GBC does not need to start from point zero, has got a lot of information and knowledge that they can share with. I'm so delighted that I have such a wonderful panel members And Dr. Dries, today you are the Harun al-Rashid of this session, you know, because they are all female speakers and you are the only male speaker. So I will be biased to you today to give you the priority and to give you the platform to start with this discussion. I know we have only 1 hour to conduct this session. So I would like to take a quick introduction of the, mashallah, the beautiful line of speakers that we have today. Um, we have Ms. Sumaya Liamahi, Marhaba Sumaya, Head of Productivity Projects and Demand Management Section, Productivity and Demand Management Department, Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, one of the beautiful ministries that we have in the UAE, very approachable, very accessible. They, particularly when the invitation comes from NGOs like us, I find them to be extremely cooperative and obliging in coming on board, whether it is Emirates Environmental Group, Emirates Green Building Council, Clean Energy Business Council, Arabia CSR Network. Thank you very much, the ministry, and thank you to you today, Ms. Sumaya. For me, working in partnership with different government organizations and private sector is vital to achieving anything that we want, particularly in the built environment. We have Dr. Dries Innanawi. Did I say it correctly? Innanawi?
إدريس النعناعي.
Innana'i. Innana'i. Yes. He's an international water consultant, mashallah, and we will look more to hear from that. We have Dr. Abir Sajwani, a wonderful young lady that I have seen her since she started her professional career, and I'm so proud of her achievement and where she has reached today. Abir is a section head, policies and environment, which is a very critical and important section in urban policies and planning infrastructure in the Department of Municipality and Transportation, Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And last but not the least, we have Ms. Nawal Saoud. She is the president, mashallah, of Morocco Green Building Council. I think in the Arab world, you're the only female who heads a Green Building Council. You know, so congratulations to you for that, Nawal. Well done, Zain. I would like to go straight into the questions because I know this is a very rich session and each one of you will have a lot to add to this to the discussions. Dr. Idris, I will start with you. As I mentioned, being all female, let's start with the me. And let's start with the bigger picture because you are an international water consultant. You have the portfolio on the global level as well as on the regional level. So as an international water consultant, what is your assessment of the status of water resources in Morocco and the broader Arab world? And what are the key challenges, in your opinion, that we are facing?
Thanks, Ms. Habiba. Thanks, to the council for the invitation, and we call it Happy Water Day for all of us on this planet. So thanks again, and I think right now, if we want to look at the water situation, we have first to understand, some of the factors, that are kind of affecting the water situation now. Knowing that the whole MENA region is located in the arid or semi-arid, region, which means, by nature we don't get a lot of rain and we get a lot of, heat, we get a lot of, solar energy, and that makes us already, in I would say an even balance between the demand and the offer. So, uh, talking at the offer is very affected now by so many factors, and that is, I think, being, as I said, in arid region, where also the MENA region is being hit heavily by climate change. And climate change, we see it in two things. We see it in a very low rainfall events, and then we have a very extended dry periods of time. So which means, climate change exacerbate the water scarcity that the region, already has. So in addition, when we look at the other part of the demand, we see that we are growing. Our population, or the population in the MENA region, is growing. In addition, we are urbanizing more and more, so which means we need more and more of water, to satisfy the demand. And our, habit, of eating and so forth, is changing, which means, it's requiring more and more water. We eat more, being in urban areas, we need more water, for the domestic use and so forth. So those are the kind of the two big factors, or big, kind of element in this equation. So for the challenges, I think the fact that we don't get a lot of water, we have this, let's call it like spatial distribution and, temporal distribution, because, we don't receive the water evenly distributed in the year. So we have a very short periods of time when we get the water. So we have to come up with solutions, to utilize the water we receive. And, in that, we can talk about the infrastructure. And if we look at the infrastructure situation in the region, I think, Morocco, we have, and I think this is a big thanks to His Majesty Hassan II building, with his vision, and the strategy to build one big dam every year. I think Morocco is not suffering a lot from what we are seeing, compared to other countries in the region, because of that infrastructure that we have. And I think this is a key element when you have these, uneven distribution in time and in space. So you have to have solid, reliable infrastructure, water storage. And I think the whole region, if we want to talk about it as a overall, I think there are some, some good projects, or some projects and some strategies that the government and the private sectors need to take care of, and, build a resilient infrastructure for water. So the other thing, and I think, there is a lot to talk about, but I think for this day, I think we need to focus on two or three elements. And I think the second big one that comes, deep in my heart, is the data. The whole region, we are lacking data. We don't get enough data to build our decisions and to build our strategies, and that's a very key element. And I think if we have to take any message today from this discussion, I think we need to put data, hydroclimatic data, in the highest position, of what the government need to do. So you cannot build the decision or strategy if you don't have data. And even if you put some, strategies based on wrong, or, very little data, your decision or your strategy will not last for long. And that's a very, very, very big element. And I think later on we can talk about, what can we do in terms of, to mitigate these challenges and to solve them. So definitely there are opportunities associated with these challenges, and there is a lot yet to be done when it comes to water in the region.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dries, and thank you for drawing the attention that tomorrow is World Water Day. So it's again an opportune, platform that we are discussing today. I would like and shedding light on the important issues that we need to be focusing on. I will direct my question now to Ms. Sumaya Al-Yamahi. Sumaya, are you online with us?
Yes, Dr.
Okay,
Habibes.
because I don't see you. Anyway, mashallah, as I mentioned, the ministry is one of the beautiful ministries that we have in the UAE. But I would like you to share with us, how does the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure address water demand management, especially in the context of urbanization and growing population and economic growth, all combined?
Yes. First of all, Dr. Habiba, thank you so much for this great introduction, and thank you for giving us this fantastic chance to share our work and as such a great platform. So to answer this great question, the UAE Ministry of Energy Infrastructure implement comprehensive, let's say, water demand management strategy and program that focusing on urbanization and population growth. So in 2021, the ministry announced one of the national program. We called it National Energy and Water Demand Side Management Program for 2050. It have been developed to target the most consuming sector in the UAE, such as the built environment sector, transportation, agriculture sector, as well as the industry. The main target for this program is to reduce the demand, energy demand, as well as the water demand. We're having like reducing the demand side management in energy to reach 40%, and the water demand to reach by 50% in 2050. And definitely this will support the cost reduction, the investment, the sustainability, and this is definitely is in parallel with the or it come with it, including the promoting the efficient water use through the awarenesses campaign, implementing advanced water conservation technology, also enforcing the water waste treatment facilities, and encouraging adopting the sustainable urban planning plus with the development practice. Yes. I cannot hear you well, Miss Habiba. You are mute, Dr. Habiba. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Samah. That was a beautiful highlight of what the ministry has got in the pipeline, what is the plan, and how they are going about it. Thank you very much. I will go to Nawal. Nawal, let's go into, zoom into the built environment. And I would like to know from you on the ground in Morocco, what are the specific challenges with regards to water management that is facing the Morocco built environment?
First of all, thank you for this initiative to mark the World Water Day. It's a privilege for me to be here and represent the Morocco Green Building Council and to collaborate with the EmiratesGBC. I believe that we all agree that the global water crisis is an increasingly urgent problem that demands and requires immediate action. As mentioned by Dr. Dries and Ms. Soumaya, the water scarcity is a critical issue in our region, which include Morocco and UAE. Access to safe and clean water should be a basic right for all individuals everywhere in the world. However, when we focus into the built environment in Morocco, we are confronted with several challenges in water management, particularly due to water scarcity, resulting from limited resources in our country. It was also mentioned by Dr. Dries. This scarcity has far-reaching impacts on various aspects of life, such as drinking water supply, irrigation, industrial use, and even economic and social developments in our country. In fact, it is projected that by 2030, 40% gap will be between the global water supply and the demand. And considering the fact that building and construction contribute approximately 15% of freshwater consumption, it's crucial to assess the role of the built environment in both exacerbating and mitigating this crisis. It was also mentioned that the rapid urbanization and the population growth experienced in Morocco put a strain on the existing water infrastructure and resources. Basically, as cities expand, so does the demand for water, leading to the need for more sustainable solutions. In 1960, we were around 11 million in Morocco. Today, we are more than 38 millions, I believe. So numbers speak by themselves. The climate change further compounds these challenges as more extreme weather events strain the water resources even more. If we add also that 87%, which is a significant portion in terms of Morocco water resource is allocated to agriculture, that puts another strain on the availability of water for the other sectors, including the construction industry. Although the kingdom has built several large dams and increased the total water storage capacity tenfold, inefficient water usage practices still persist within our industry. These range from leaky infrastructure to outdated plumbing system, resulting in water losses and inefficient distributions. So to address these issues effectively, we need to adopt a comprehensive approach, which include implementing efficient water management practice, upgrading infrastructure, promoting awareness and educations about water conservation, integrating water efficient design into the buildings from early stages too. And the inefficient water use practices are also prevalent within our industry, ranging from leaky infrastructure to outdated plumbing system. And it results basically in water loss and inefficient distribution. So to tackle the challenges I mentioned, we need this comprehensive approach. It includes efficient water management practice, upgrading the infrastructure, promoting the awareness, including in these kind of events, and incorporating water efficient design principle in the building. Cooperation remains the key, and we believe that that's what we are initiating with this initiative and the webinar.
Thank you very much, Nawal. You gave us a lot there, and I would like to underline the comprehensive water management system, integrated water management system is the key over here, because you have got so many aspects. And I think when you're talking about the desert environment or the arid region, your Morocco, yes, you do have areas that are very nice, fertile, but you have the proximity to the sub-Saharan as well, which and the high temperatures, you know, it's so much similar to what we have here in the Gulf region. And this is what makes us have the common challenges that we need to be tackling with. And I'm sure we will go deeper into that issue. But I would like to go to Abir. Abir, and this is an area that is very important, you know, for me, and I know for everyone to understand the policy aspects, you know. From a policy perspective, young lady, what are the key initiatives undertaken by the Department of Municipalities and Transport in Abu Dhabi in the UAE in general to promote sustainable water management practices?
First of all, thank you everyone. I'm really glad to be part of this very important panel discussion on a very important subject, you know, in terms of water sustainability. I want to echo first the remarks by our colleagues here from Morocco, Dr. Nawal, and then also Sumaya from the ministry. We share similar challenges because we share similar climatic conditions. We have, you know, desert environment, harsh climate change impacts, sea level rise, little bit, extreme weather events. So we share similar challenges. And we are, you know, dealing with a very important subject, which is water. And water scarcity is across the entire Arab region. We can see that it's one of the, you know, most important topic among all of the agendas of the government. So I want to go back then now to you the question that you've provided in terms of the policy. going back to the built environment, on a federal level, I'll talk a little bit about the policy on the federal level, then I'll go back to the Department of Municipalities and Transport efforts. So basically from the UAE perspective, we've seen the third update of the second national determined contribution of the UAE report that is submitted to the UNFCCC, that the building sector is responsible for 28% of the greenhouse gases emissions in the UAE. That is out of 2019. But then at the same time, the built environment represents a really big opportunity in terms of reduction of the GHG emissions, more about like 50 to 80% coming from the built environment sector by 2030. So this is a critical sector then to meet the UAE net zero targets towards the Paris Agreement. Now, in terms of the initiatives that are done at the federal level, you'll see the UAE first long-term strategy, a net zero strategy, and then the UAE Centennials to 2071, and the UAE Vision 2031. So all of these are really high-level framework based on the level of the federal government, cascades all to the other Emirates. In terms of the Abu Dhabi as an emirate, we have two main strategies that tackles water sustainability, but in addition to other things, the first one is the Abu Dhabi Environment Vision, and the second one is the Abu Dhabi Demand Side Management and Energy Rationalization Strategy. And why we deal with, this important remark I want to keep here is that why we are dealing with water and energy at the same time, because in the UAE, we use energy to desalinate water, and that energy is linked directly with water consumption, water production. So water production here in the UAE has a carbon footprint, and that is something that we need to look at as well. So in terms of the Department of Municipalities and Transport efforts, there's a number of key initiatives that are done at the planning stage, in addition to the implementation as well. So to promote sustainable water practices in the urban development projects, initiatives include integration of water efficient technologies and practices into the building codes and the regulations, implementation of green building certification schemes and programs to emphasize water conservation measures, and the development of sustainable landscape and irrigation practices. We also work very closely with
Abir, that brings me really to my second question to you. You have nicely gone into it. Share with us, give us those specific regulation guidelines that you have in place, which are enforced by your department, by the municipality, with regards to the built environment. How are you? What are they, and how are you enforcing them?
Definitely. So the main one from my side is the Istidama per rating system, which is the green building certification scheme for the Emirate of Abu Dhabi that deals with the villas, buildings, communities, and the public realm. We have also the Abu Dhabi International Building Code, design manual, and the Abu Dhabi utility plot and utility corridor design manuals, in addition to the urban street design manual. All of these manuals, they take relevant consideration of water sustainability into the infrastructure, and they promote the use of innovative technologies for recycling of water. So really, since the
Abir, when you say manuals, Abir, when you say manuals, does it mean that it is just a guideline, or that it means that it has to be enforced?
Yeah, this is the thing. So Istidama per rating system is a mandatory requirement. It's not just a optional requirement. It's a mandatory requirement. Now it's done for all government projects. At least two minimum requirements should be met for government projects, and for the private sectors, private development, we need to make sure that they have at least one minimum per rating. And these requirements are mandatory because the city looks at itself, specifically Abu Dhabi, as a pioneer in the green building and urban sustainability scheme and line of work. So based on UAE wise leadership, we work to address the issue of urbanization, particularly the challenges in energy and water consumption. And Istidama is really one of the unique energy saving and water saving strategies and programs that has been introduced. It is best practice for and a benchmark for sustainable urban development in the MENA region. It looks at aspects such as, building design rating, construction and operation. It looks at how water fixtures are set, what are the measures that should be integrated in the design of buildings and design of communities. So all of this, and out of this, Istidama per rating system, as an initiative, we have reached a 45% of water conservation and 55% of energy consumption in terms of energy consumption. So in terms of reduction in the consumption of water and energy. Now, in with regards to the other manuals that I have said, in terms of the public realm design manual and the others, they provide guidance for the developers. Now, there are certain requirements within these manuals and guidelines that are required. However, based on the project nature, for example, if it is within the very urban dense areas, or compared to a very rural, sub-rural areas, so the requirement would be changing. Now, that's why we call it a manual, because when the project developer or proponent develops the plan for his community or for his project, they have to adhere by these requirements, and otherwise they will not get the planning approval. So our requirements and our manuals and guidelines are compulsory, mandatory, not optional, because otherwise they will not be able to get the planning permit or the building permit at one stage. All of these measures are, why is it done in terms of how they are enforced, is because of the particular challenges the UAE and Abu Dhabi is facing in terms of water scarcity, being in a desert environment, and also water being water desalination is the main way to provide sensible potable water resource, and also that the UAE is having one of the largest carbon footprints internationally. So in the
Thank you very
Istidama
much,
program, yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm calling her Abir because, as I said, I have seen her since she was an intern. She is a very highly qualified doctor, but I've removed that, but it is there. I hope you all appreciate that. Thank you very much, Abir. I will come back to you on more of what you have just shared. Wonderful details of what is being implemented on the local level in Abu Dhabi as well as on the international level. And this is what you mean by sharing experiences and expertise between different countries and different regions. I would like to go to Nawal. Can you share with us what are the best practices employed in the construction projects in the kingdom to enhance water management efficiency? You did mention, but I would like you to elaborate more on that. And how are you addressing water scarcity? You did talk about integrated water management system, but I wanted to go deep into that, particularly within the built environment. We know about education, and I want to know what is happening within the built environment with regards to this issue in Morocco. So if you can share with us, like Abir mentioned about the manuals, the guidelines and everything, and the mandatory ones, the Istidama rating system. What about in Morocco? What do you have as a best practice that you can share with us? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So first, I believe that sustainable building practice play a crucial role in addressing the water management challenges we previously mentioned, as they can minimize water demand, enhance water efficiency, and contribute to overall water conserving efforts. So to answer the question, firstly, it's crucial to identify that water management in construction involves a multifaceted approach, which intersects with local guidelines and regulation in the built environment. And to address these challenges, we need a holistic approach that spans the entire life cycle of the building, from the design stage till the construction and even the operation. So it indeed starts from the initial design, where architects and engineers can integrate water efficient design principles into the building's layouts and systems. And this can include measures like rainwater harvesting, greywater recycling, and the use of low flow fixtures. In construction projects, there are several best practices that can be employed to enhance water management efficiency and address broadly the water scarcity concerns. One effective approach is the implementation of green roofs and green walls. These structures not only provide aesthetic benefits, but also contribute to water prevention, retention, and management. By capturing the rainwater and the greywater, they reduce the strain on
So
traditional
Nawal,
water.
is this a practice? Is this a practice that is streamlined, or is it few examples only?
No, it's not streamlined. Of course, I'm mentioning the best practice as it was the questions. So there are already these principles are already implemented. They are not streamlined, but the idea is to showcase these principles also so that they become streamlined. We already mentioned the challenge. I believe now the question was more about the best practice. The diagnostic of the actual situation is that I always prefer to remain positive and to insist on the fact that solutions are already existing, and to promote and invite everyone to follow the path, basically. So in construction, it's crucial to ensure that the water saving measures are incorporated in the building infrastructure. It includes efficient plumbing systems, smart metering, etc. Yesterday, I received a very interesting blueprint, which was launched by the World Green Building Council, I believe last November, about the water management, known like prevent, measure, reduce, reuse, and restore. First, prevention is a must. It should be integrated in design strategies, as I mentioned. Next up, measurements. Our local operator responsible for water production and distribution in Morocco are required, for example, to produce monthly reports on pipeline leaks, including the quantities lost, the action taken for repairs, and to observe agile management based on data. So they are already implementing water flow rationing in some neighborhoods sometimes, which involves adjusting or cutting off the flow during specific time slots. Reducing water consumption takes also center stage as well. Local authorities decided to ban on clean public space with the potable waters. The private and the public swimming pools are filled only once a year. Our authorities also decided to ban on watering green spaces and public gardens, or even private golf course with potable water. There is an even harder decision which was taken to close the hammam 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and the public showers, and for the rest of the days to take serious measures to avoid water waste. And finally, reusing water becomes also a powerful tool, implementing systems for rainwater harvesting and greywater recycling wherever possible, which is not everywhere, of course. And last but not least, to restore water system by integrating nature and green infrastructure. We support the nature, water cycle, and replenish local water system. So these best practices empower us to build more water-wise future. Their integrations aren't publicly imposed, but the strategy is there, and there are already many project pilots, and I think we are on the right path.
Thank you very much for highlighting all that and sharing the guidelines that you have and the regulations that are out there, and the diversity of the platforms that you have tackled with regards to end use would you say that, mashallah, Morocco is not a young country like the UAE? Are you satisfied with the maturity in your legal system with regards to water management on the national level in Morocco?
Well, again, as I mentioned, to tackle the challenges we discussed, it is supposed to be a holistic approach where everyone should endorse its responsibility. Public sector, obviously, first, but also the private sector and all of us as individuals. So to address these challenges, the Moroccan government has taken several initiatives. The national water strategy for between 2020 and 2030 focused on promoting efficient water use, enhancing water resource management, and expanding the use of non-conventional water resources such as treated wastewater and desalination. Maybe Dr. Driss would know more about this, but there are several public initiatives and challenges, and the strategy is already established and under development.
Thank you very much, Noel, for that beautiful explanation. Samah, معايا online?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
سمية
سمية
انت مش
دكتور.
ليش sorry.
عادي ولا يهمك. It's okay.
Sumaya, can you please share with us again successful projects, productivity projects that has been implemented by your department on the national level, which is very focused on tackling water challenges in the built environment?
Definitely. So the ministry work with all the government, local partner, and especially with the private sector on designing or an integrated methodology and policy projects that aiming to raising the technology or the efficiency of water use in the UAE. I will highlight some of these. The first of the all, designing the National Green Building Code regulation. It is designed to fulfill the mandatory with the minimum energy and water standard for the new building in the UAE, and it will be for across all the UAE, and definitely this will enhance the built environment across the UAE to save our resources in water and material and energy as well, with the minimum environmental impact. Also, when we designed it, it was in line with all the existing code, especially the one Abir mentioned it, and definitely this code will improve the quality of the life and happiness. The second project I want to highlight it also is the retrofitting government building. This is aimed to implement initiatives to reduce the energy and water consumption in federal buildings such as the mosque, hospitals, government offices through implementation and advanced technology and technique in energy and water saving system. And definitely we have a main objective, or the ministry objective, to reduce the operational cost, because it is take a huge budget for us, and from the operational cost we are aiming to reduce around 20% of the operation cost in the federal building, and definitely around 20% in energy consumption, and water to reach 25%. The project will be based on saving shared saving financial model, and will be worked on with the private sector more, the ISCO's company. Third project that also we announced the national guideline for irrigation. This guideline on efficient irrigation for water conservation for use by people to irrigate their gardening, the grasses in the urban area. It's including also household gardening, public spaces, active playing area. and it is like an providing an advice how to achieve an efficient use of water, and including the use of different irrigation devices or technology. The final or the last one that we are currently working on it, that we are trying to build a platform called GIS platform for agriculture and water source data. This it's have like a tool for viewing and analyzing the data, that uh, uh, empowering us like in a mystery to make informed decision regarding the agriculture sector. So it is like a collaboration among all the local government and integrated effort to point or PowerPoint the agriculture land to calculate how much the water consumption in this certain area, and even the if we want to use this land in the future land uses, the best way to make sure that we are using in a proper way. So it is like giving us also like a really well data with a geographical data in famous format, including like a crop type, land cover, soil moisture, um, to enhance the reduction in agriculture, water reduction in agriculture sector. I'm trying to make the answers very like comprehensive so we can follow the session. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Haiba, yeah, still you're muted.
Thank you very much, Sumaya. I'm conscious of the time. I see we only have around 13 minutes. And, I always say, EGBC team, you have to make these sessions 1.5 hours at least. We have wonderful speakers. There's so much that they can share with us, but the time is very limited. I'll go to Dr. Idris. Dr. Idris, mashallah, again, being an international expert on water issues and water management and technologies, can you share with us what do you foresee for our region? Do you believe that innovative technologies will contribute effectively in addressing water challenges here in the built environment in the Arab world? And what strategies that really need to be put on the top of the agenda to ensure the economic viability of these procedures in the MENA region?
And I think that's a great question, and to answer it, let me break it to three pieces or three dimensions. I think there is not one single technology or innovation will solve our problems. I think we need to look at them in three dimensions, as I said. I think the first dimension is the technical part. The second dimension is the institutional innovations that we need to come up with. And the third is the financial. So I think when it comes to the technical, knowing that most of our waters are consumed by irrigation, I think that's where we have to implement and to come up with innovations to help us save as much as we can. And not just the technologies, and I think we have also to work on the vulgarization, on the communication, on the capacity building. And I think, for the technologies, everybody knows now that the drip irrigation, for example, is one of the top technologies that help us save water. In addition to the conventional, let's call it drip irrigation, there are other technologies that we can use to save water. And that is, now because of the arid climate we have, the arid, conditions we have, I think we need to move for agriculture. We need to move, to the in-house and, like covered systems, and where we can capture more water and we can make those agricultural systems more efficient when it comes to water, and we can produce more per drop. Okay, so, and we can talk about hydroponics, we can talk about so many things around agriculture to help us save water, and by that saving energy, because there is a huge correlation between water and energy. And I will come to the next one, which is desalination.
What about in the
Every,
built environment, doctor? What about in the built environment?
so the building environment, I think, the architecture, especially in the region where we have a lot of heat. I think we need to work with the condition, with the natural condition, like for the cooling systems. So, and we need to play with the positioning of the building, so we can get most of the wings to help us, natural wings, to help us like cool our infrastructure. And I think we need to adapt, whatever we are taking from the modern, buildings, and use our natural kind of natural buildings, or our traditional buildings, because they are very energy and water efficient as well. So when it comes to related to water, I think we have few technologies that, some of them, I was consulting for some companies working in the region. They capture the humidity, to produce drinking water. And I think that's one of the technologies that can be useful in some countries, not all countries, because the cost is very high. But there are some technologies out there. There is always the water harvesting technology, or like practice that we need to use, that can add value for us. So we can capture the rainwater, and then we can use it internally. And we can also, as Nawal mentioned, I think the low flow equipment, that we can have inside the buildings. I think they can add more value. So also we have to look at the recycling, practices, of the recycling technologies, and how we can, take the water, the drop of water, in various steps, not just like in one step. For example, we can just take the water from the toilet and flush it into the wastewater, into the sewage system. I think that's not an efficient way, and that's very high loss of water there. So we have to multiply what we call the passage, of the drop from different equipment, so we can maximize its use. And I think there is a lot yet to be done. But for example, this piece here, I'm very familiar with what goes in the for example, in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi. I think you are doing great work when it comes to the micro management of water in the buildings, and in the whole ecosystem as a whole. Morocco, on the other hand, I think we are very good in the macro management of water. I think I can mention a couple of things here. There is one of the biggest desalination stations in the region, coupling drinking water and irrigation. We have recently, I think Morocco showed the engineering and the project management kind of expertise, when they built in a very short time a very big, canal, and very big pipeline from the let's call it like the mid north to Rabat, so we can convey water to Casablanca and to Rabat for drinking water. And that's like what we call the highway of water. And that's the water transfer kind of practice that we have to have, because of that disparity in the temporal and spatial distribution of water. So I go back to desalination. Desalination can be a good practice, but we have to be very careful because it's energy hungry, so it uses a lot of energy. It's energy hungry, so it uses a lot of energy, and it has some environmental impact. So we have to be very careful when we talk about desalination as the key. And a lot of our countries, they don't have access to the big waters where we can kind of reduce the impact of environment. So I go to the quickly, because I see that the water is going. I mean, the crack is going down quickly. So I touch on The technologies, I think we mentioned, the humidity capturing to produce drinking water. That's a very good solution. We have the recycling of water. We have the reuse of wastewater. I think that's a very good one, and I think we need to think about how we move that water to agriculture, because there is a huge value there, and we need to do more research. And this is again, I go back to the institutional or to the R&D. And the reason we have to invest in our R&D, we cannot wait for somebody else to do it for us.
Could
I
not
think we
agree
have
with you
everything.
more. Could not
I'm
agree
sorry?
with you more. I said I
Yes.
could
And
not agree with you more that we need
yeah,
to
and I think
invest in research and
I think
development
we
on the level of the Arab world. You're absolutely right. So I have only 5 minutes, and you are, mashallah, 4 of you, and I have one question. Okay,
okay.
this this is a living situation for us at Emirates Green Building Council. The concept of collaboration and cooperation and partnership, and this is what Emirates GBC stands for and how it was built actually. We work closely with the private sector, all the players within the built environment. We have effective partnership with government entities. We try to build our international network with like-minded organizations. We are very proactive with reaching out to the other Green Building Council, and that's what we did. So in your opinions, all of you, in one sentence, please, each of you, because there's only 4 minutes. How do you envision collaboration amongst the government entities, the private sector players in the built environment, academia, and the society at large in ensuring sustainable water infrastructure management system to achieve the goals that we have set for our countries and to achieve goal number 6 of the United Nations, sustainable water consumption and sanitation for everybody?
Quickly, I think about two things, Dr. Habiba. The first one, I think we need to look at the PPPs, the public-private partnerships. That's one key element that we have to adapt to our conditions. Okay, and I think that's one big piece. The second one, I think we can talk about either subsidies if we're gonna take some things to the private or to the individuals. Either we work on subsidies or we work on taxes. And I think in our region we can be more effective working with subsidies than taxes. Okay, so those are the two elements that I can think of right now.
Thank
But
you very much.
I'm sorry.
I said thank you very much. That's the 2
Yeah.
sentences. I go to Abir.
Yes.
Abir?
We need, Dr. Habiba, we need more
No.
time, not just 1 hour.
That's what I just told the team. I said, you did injustice. This is a beautiful session. 1 hour is not enough. We need 1.5 hours. Next time, inshallah, Dr. Idris. Abir,
Inshallah.
what is your 1 minute
Yes.
giveaway?
Yeah, yeah, and in terms of collaboration is essential because we need to collaborate with all different parties, including private sector, developers, the community, even the awareness. It's not a one person's job; it's a collective approach, integrated approach for the whole of the community. We did face early resistance from the industry when we introduced, a Istidama requirement, but then it took us time for the market to adapt to the conditions and even facilitate compliance. And you need to work with a carrot and stick approach. Sometimes you need to provide incentives like, or increase in the GFA, build GFA requirements that for an area for them to adhere to the more pearls in the Sidama pearl rating system, or you can sometimes provide more rigorous approach of let's say strong regulations and
Thank you.
conditions.
Abir,
So
so
you have to
Nawal,
and stick.
thank you very much. Sorry, no, Abir.
Thank you. I'll
Nawal.
try to answer in one sentence, but maybe it's a long sentence. I also I can only agree with what Dr. Adil just said. Achieving sustainable water management in the MENA region requires an integrated approach with everyone involved, private and public sectors and individuals also. And the effectiveness of these collaborations lies in the willingness of everyone to share knowledge, resources, and responsibilities toward the common goal of water sustainability, resilience, and safety too. So it's not a call of.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Your 1 minute is finished.
Welcome.
Sumaya.
Thank you so much. In addition to what Abir said and Nawal, I want to highlight the coordination between the policy coordination, finding a way for investment and financing, enhancing the technology and innovation between the two sector, also raising the awarenesses and about the water issues through building capacity and education system. The last things I want to mention here is the oil of any project, that the data sharing and do more researches. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank the ladies. Thank you very much. You did us proud, really beautiful contribution, and happy Mother's Day. Dr. Idris, thank you very much for your contribution. I know and I agree with you 100%. We need double the time that they gave us. Thank you very much, all of you, for listening. Khalid, thank you very much for being on board and joining us today in this beautiful session. And I hope, inshallah, that we will have many sessions together on different and critical sustainability issues with other EGBCs as well collectively. Thank you very much and have a nice day. On time.
Thank you, Habiba. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. الله يوفقكم إن شاء الله في ماذا.
شكرا جزيلا. شكرا.